What's happening, party people? Happy Winning Wednesday. This is your daily morning motivational message because motivation's a lot like doing what? Taking a bath, brushing your teeth, your personal hygiene. We do these things every day because we want to show up as the best representative of ourselves. And sometimes when you get a little bit down, sometimes you've been through maybe a slight depression or a major depression, or you've going through some difficulties, and you kind of sit around and you're wallowing and marinating in your misery, and you haven't taken a shower in a couple of days, you haven't felt like brushing your teeth, and that funk starts to build up and it just adds more weight onto the situation, and you find yourself just not caring. And it's when you wake up and get up and step up and you actually do a couple of very simple things. You brush your teeth, you take a shower, and all of a sudden you feel a little bit better because you took some time to clean up your external house, your body. And what we do in the mind is just as, if not more, important. That daily maintenance of our mindset, where we're directing our energies. I want you to start with gratitude. Sometimes you can wake up and you're just not feeling it. Sometimes you get some bad news first thing in the morning and it sets the tone for the rest of the day. It could, it doesn't have to. Sometimes you're just in a funk and you don't know why. You're like, why am I feeling like this? Some people are impacted by the weather. If it's overcast and rainy, it impacts people. They're more likely to stay inside, snuggle up under the covers, and do as little as possible. If there's a big storm and the snow is falling, again, it affects people's emotional temperament, temper. So understanding that there are things that are going to come up that you can't always anticipate, but they're going to happen. And so the question is not what happens to you, but how you respond to what happens to you. Not what happens to you, but what happens in you. So now you have to be more proactive in saying, you know what? Let me focus on what am I grateful for in this moment, because this moment is all that I have. I am grateful that I have breath in my body. I am grateful that I have all of my five senses working acutely. I am grateful that I have full health and fitness and well-being, and I have the capacity to go out here and make things happen. I am grateful that I have been blessed with this gift of life and that I happen to have this opportunity to create more impact and create more income for myself and my family. I am grateful for the love of my family. I'm grateful to be a father. I'm grateful to be a spouse. I'm grateful to be a leader. I'm grateful. What are you grateful for? And finding a few things. It doesn't have to be a long list. It can be. It doesn't have to be long. But find some things that you're grateful for. And that will actually do something internally in you. You'll remind yourself that it's okay. It's okay. You're a human being. You're not always going to be on. You're not always going to feel like doing what you know you have to do. It's the discipline and the persistence and the commitment that's going to have to override the feeling. And when you make the choice to override the feeling, you have now become more empowered. You've now given yourself a lifeline to greater growth, progress, and impact. You've now found a way to combat and parry some of those things that come at us that make us just want to sit down and take a long nap. Now, check this out. In the midst of your gratitude, you may need to recharge, and that's okay too. If you need to take a 10-minute gratitude nap, take a 10-minute gratitude nap. If you need to just sit and close your eyes and be still, they call it transcendental meditation, where you're literally sitting still and you're just in stillness and you're focusing on your breath. And whatever that count may be, it's an opportunity for you just to unplug for a few moments, a few minutes of your day and reset. Sometimes the day runs us instead of us running the day. Sometimes the day gets away from us because we're not organized. We're not strategic. We're not mapping out our plan for the day. And we're letting the day kind of overwhelm us with all of these things and to-dos and obligations, and I got to be here and I got to be there. And when we look up, the night has fallen, and whatever we plan to do, we can't even remember because we just want to get in the bed and get some rest. So sometimes you have to be strategic and intentional with moments of stillness, moments of rest. In certain countries, they call it a siesta, where you have a really nice lunch break and then you take a nap after a really nice lunch and then you go back to work. And they have found in certain countries that that level of freedom, autonomy, but also recharging and acknowledging I'm a human being. It's okay. I can take a break and then I'm going to get back to work, has created greater sustainability, consistency, continuity, and productivity, because people understand, like, when I work, I work. And then when I take a break, if I have lunch, I'm going to have lunch, not a 20-minute throw some food in my face and get back to work. And now you're resentful that while you're eating that you don't have time to enjoy it. That impacts how that food is broken down in your body emotionally. Your emotions when you eat have an impact on how your body responds and receives it. And so rather than having people subject themselves to that kind of constant rush, 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 go, 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 they're like, no, have a real lunch and then take a nap and then come back and then get back in it. So if you have to break your days down, if you have to have time mapping where you just find these sections of 60 or 90-minute increments where you just focus, work, 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 and then you break. And maybe you break for 20 minutes and then you come back and then you do another 90 minutes or 60 minutes and then you do it again. Got to know yourself. But I want you to start with gratitude. That's number one. Number two, I want you to be more strategic and intentional with how you're managing your own energy. There are certain parts of the day when you're just on a natural, like, boom, your energy's up. Some people, they say, oh, I'm a morning person, Ed. Some people say, nah, man, I get in my zone like around noon. From noon to 4, I'm in my zone. Other people are like, I'm a night owl, man. When it comes 5, 6 o'clock, I'm just getting going. And by 2 a.m., I've gotten so much done. Everyone has their sweet spot. It doesn't mean that if you're a night owl that you can't be a morning person, and if you're a morning person, you can't be a night owl. It just means that you can have greater awareness and strategic intention with how you're going to delegate your day as it pertains to your energy and the management of it. If you need to take a nap, take a nap, because I would rather you be fired up and excited about whatever it is that you're doing and engaged in. If I can get a solid hour out of you instead of you just kind of dragging your butt throughout the entire day because you're not getting proper rest and you're not taking the time to unplug, you're not giving yourself a space to do a siesta. It doesn't have to be 2 hours, but you understand what I'm saying. So I'd rather you be more efficient so that the day really does mean something. Instead of you looking back at the day's end and like, man, I don't even know what I did today. Because it just felt like I was bombarded with calls. I had to be here, I had to be there. I looked up and, man, I barely got anything done. Or I didn't get anything of what I planned done, but I got a bunch of other stuff done because it was coming at me. So, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't mean that every day is going to be the way you want it. It doesn't mean that everything's going to go according to plan. It just means that you have a plan. And when you have a plan, you can adjust, because that's what champions do. Champions adjust. So I wanted to give you that word of encouragement. Happy daily motivational message, Winning Wednesday. If you got some value out of this, please like and subscribe and share this. Go ahead and be a blessing to someone else, because it's a blessing to be a blessing. Have a fantastic day.